Student, now we will study another pteridophyte, that is a Selaginella. This Selaginella is also called as a club moss. The classification of this pteridophyte is as follows: division Pteridophyta, subdivision Lycopsida, order Selagineals, family Selaginaceae, and genus Selaginella. The subdivision or class is Lycopsida. Now we will see the external features of the sporophyte of Selaginella. You can see the figure showing the prostate branched leafy structure like a small plant. Now we will going to see the structure of Selaginella, external features. The many species of Selaginella are prostrate, creeping on the ground. Other are sub-erect. Few are climbing. The climbing species has a rhizophores. Also, the prostrate species can show the presence of rhizophore. The sporophyte body is divided into the root, stem, and leaves. The primary roots are very short, and later adventitious roots are produced. On the basis of stem and form of the leaves on the stem, the Selaginella may be categorized as a homophylum and heterophylum. The homophylum species means the stem is upright and all the leaves present on the stem are similar, whereas in case of heterophylum species, the stem is prostrate, dorsiventral, and leaves are dimorphic, means there are two different types of leaves are present on the stem. There are small leaves and large leaves. You can see the figure, there you will see the small and large leaves. The leaves are ligulate. At the internal axis of leaf, the ligule is present. The homophylum species, all leaves are same. They are spirally arranged, small, simple. Heterophylous species shows two types of leaves. Their stem is dorsiventral. The two types of leaves, the one is a small and another one is a large. The smaller leaf of each pair inserted on the dorsal side of the stem, whereas the larger leaves inserted on the ventral side of a stem. Each leaf is sessile, generally obovate, acute apex, and distinct midrib is present. At the base of each young leaf, towards the inner surface, there is a small tongue-like multicellular structure is present, and that is called as a ligule. Now we will see a anatomy of root of Selaginella. The section is almost circular in outline, and from periphery to center, the tissue differentiation into the single layer epidermis. Cortex, the cortex differentiated as a hypodermis and cortex. The hypodermis is 2 to 3 cell thick. The cells of hypodermis are sclerenchymatous and thick wall. Otherwise, the remaining cortex is parenchymatous thin walled cell. The stele is present at the center, that is a protostelic condition is there. At the center, there is a xylem, and that xylem is surrounded by a phloem. The endodermis is a single layer thick. Below endodermis, there is a pericycle. The xylem is monarch and shows the exarch nature. The protoxylems are facing towards the periphery. This is what the anatomy of the root. The epidermis towards outside also gives out a root hairs. Now we'll see the anatomy of rhizophore. The rhizophore is a root-like structure or thread-like structure produced from the stem towards the downward direction, and later on it is converted into the root. The outline of the section is circular. The section shows from outside to center there is a single layer epidermis, 2 to 3 layers sclerenchymatous hypodermis, parenchymatous cortex is there. The cortex delimited by the development of single layer of endodermis. Next to endodermis there is a single layer of pericycle, and inside pericycle the conducting tissue, phloem and xylem are present. Here also the structure is more or less similar like a root. The phloem surrounds the xylem. Xylem is monarch and exarch condition. So only in case of the root the epidermis produces the root hair, but here in rhizophore the root hairs are not seen produced by the epidermis. Now we will see the anatomy of stem. The anatomy of stem can be studied by taking a transverse section and by staining the section by safranin and phosgene. Double stain combination can be used for better differentiation. The outline of section is somewhat slightly wavy, and from outside to center the section shows epidermis, cortex and stele at the center. The epidermis is a outermost layer, single cell thick, and it is somewhat cuticularized, and there is a lack of stomata. No stomata is present in the epidermis. Next to epidermis, the cortex is differentiated as a hypodermis and cortex. There are 2 to 3 layers of hypodermis. The cells are sclerenchymatous, and the remaining cortex is a multicellular or multi-layer remaining cortex is there, and the cells are parenchymatous. The cortex is without intercellular spaces. All the cells of cortex are thin walled, and the hypodermis cells are thick walled. The stele is generally protosteles, means phloem surrounds the xylem, and that kind of stele is called as a protostele. The vascular tissue delimited from the cortical region by a radially elongated endodermal cell. Here the endodermis cells are radially elongated in nature, and they are called as a trabeculae. This trabeculae, in between 2 trabeculae you will see the intercellular spaces. Otherwise the trabeculae are elongated from cortex to the pericycle, and that trabeculae is nothing but a radially organized endodermis of the stem. There is a single layer of pericycle. This pericycle surrounds the xylem and phloem. The xylem, the stele is protostelic condition. The xylem is diarch, and that shows the exarch conditions. The xylem cells are at the center, and phloem cells are surrounding the xylem cells. In case of the some of the species, there are more than one stele is present. In some of the Selaginella species you will see there is a presence of 2 steles. The phloem cells are smaller, they are protoplasmic and completely surrounds the central core of xylem in each stele. Here the special anatomical modifications are seen in the endodermis, that is in the form of trabeculae, and another one is there is a presence of more than one stele, that is a polystelic condition. Now we will see the anatomy of next organ, that is a lip. The anatomy of lip can be studied by taking a vertical transverse section. The morphologically leaf is a dorsiventral and it has a distinct midrib. The section can be a double stain for better combination and observed under the microscope. The section shows the midrib at the center and two wings alongside. There is a definite upper and lower epidermis. The upper and lower epidermis is single cell thick, and in between upper and lower epidermis there are undifferentiated mesophyll cells. The epidermis is one layered. The stomata are generally present on the lower surface, but they may also present on the upper surface. The cells of mesophyll are usually not differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma. It shows many conspicuous intercellular spaces in between their arrangement. The mesophyll contain chloroplast and each of which having a several pyrenoid-like bodies. The vascular bundle is concentric with xylem surrounded by phloem and bounded by a bundle sheath. This is what the anatomy of leaf of Selaginella. Now in this video we seen the external morphological features of Selaginella, classification of Selaginella. Morphologically, Selaginella may be prostrate or erect, has a single leaves, means same kind of leaves, or there may be a different kind of leaves. The leaves shows presence of ligule. Then we saw the anatomy of root like structure called as a rhizophore, and we also seen the anatomy of stem and leaves. These are what the morphological characteristic features and anatomical characteristic features of the one of the pteridophyte. Selaginella belongs in the class Ligulopsida.